I thought it was just a simple Mother's Day card, but what I read inside completely broke me. It was a quiet Sunday morning, the kind of morning where everything feels still, but not peaceful, just empty. Sunlight slowly came through the kitchen window while I stood there making coffee. The house was silent, too silent. No sound of footsteps, no laughter, no voice calling out from another room, just silence. Mother's Day. But it didn't feel like Mother's Day at all. I told myself maybe it's fine. Maybe she will say something later. My daughter Emily was 15 now, and everything had started changing slowly, without me even realizing when it began. A year ago, she used to talk to me about everything, her school, her friends, her thoughts, even the smallest things. She would sit in the kitchen while I cooked and keep talking non-stop. But now, everything was different. Her door stayed closed most of the time, and the silence between us kept growing. At first, I tried to ignore it. I thought it was just a phase, growing up, teenager things. But deep inside, something didn't feel right. I would knock on her door sometimes. "Emily, are you okay?" And after a pause, she would say, "I'm fine." Just 2 words, every time. And slowly, I stopped asking as much. Not because I stopped caring, but because I didn't know how to reach her anymore. Days started passing like this. Same routine, same silence, same distance. We lived in the same house, but it didn't feel like we were living together. It felt like she was somewhere far away, and I didn't know where. I didn't know that every day at school she was going through something I couldn't see, something she never told me about. At school, she sat alone most of the time. While everyone else laughed in groups, she stayed quiet. At lunch, she would sit at the corner of the cafeteria, watching others talk, laugh, belong, while she slowly learned what it felt like not to belong anywhere. But she never said anything about it, not to anyone. She started keeping it all inside. At home, I thought she was just on her phone. I thought she just wanted space. I thought she was okay, but I was wrong, so wrong, and she was hurting in silence every single day. Then Mother's Day came, a day I thought would just pass like any other. I was standing in the kitchen, holding my coffee, when I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around. Emily was standing there, holding a small envelope in her hand. She looked nervous, not like herself. She wasn't smiling. She just stood there quietly and said, "Happy Mother's Day." I was surprised. I didn't expect anything. I smiled and said, "Thank you." She walked closer and gave me the envelope. Our fingers touched for a second, and I felt something strange in her hand, like nervousness, like fear. I asked her if I should open it now. She nodded slowly. Yes. I opened the envelope. Inside was a simple card, a normal Mother's Day card. Flowers on the front, soft colors. At first I smiled. Maybe it's just a sweet card. But then I opened it, and everything changed. The first page was normal. "To the most amazing mom," but I noticed something. She was still standing there, watching me, not moving, not smiling, just waiting. I turned the page, and I saw her handwriting, messy, shaky, emotional. At the top it said, "Mom," and something about that word felt heavy, different. I started reading. I don't know how to say this out loud, so I'm writing it instead. My heart paused a little. Something was wrong. I know I've been distant lately, and I'm sorry. I looked up for a second. She was still there, silent. I probably made you feel like I don't want to talk to you, but that's not true. My hands slowly started feeling cold. I just didn't know how to. I kept reading. Things haven't been okay for a long time. My chest tightened slightly. I lost my friends, or maybe they just stopped choosing me. I stopped for a second. My eyes didn't move. I eat lunch alone most days now. I didn't know this. I really didn't know. I try to act like I'm okay, but I'm not. My throat felt tight. I could feel something building inside me, something heavy. She was suffering, and I didn't see it. I thought nobody would notice, but I did. I looked up again. She was still standing there, but now her eyes were slightly red, like she already knew what was coming. I kept reading. Some nights, I cry so much I can't breathe. That line stopped everything inside me, completely. I couldn't breathe properly. I almost came to you many times, but I didn't. My hands started shaking, because I didn't want to be a burden. That line broke me, completely broke me. My daughter, my child, thinking she was a burden. Tears filled my eyes instantly. I couldn't stop them. I kept reading. You're still my safe place. I just didn't know how to reach you. I dropped the card slightly. My body felt weak, and then I looked up at her. She was still there, waiting for my reaction, for my words, for something. But I didn't speak. I just walked toward her, slowly, step by step, and she didn't move. She just stood there, like she was afraid of rejection, afraid of everything. When I reached her, I pulled her into my arms, tightly. She froze for a second, and then suddenly, she broke. She started crying, hard, like everything she had been holding inside finally came out. I'm sorry, she kept saying. I'm sorry. And I held her tighter. No, I'm sorry. We stayed like that for a long time, just holding each other. No distance anymore, no silence. After that, we sat down together, and she told me everything she had been hiding, and I listened, without interrupting, without judging, just listening. And slowly, I started understanding how much I had missed, how much she had been carrying alone. We talked for hours, and for the first time in a long time, there was no silence between us, only truth. And I realized something that day. Sometimes the people we think are fine are the ones struggling the most right in front of us, and we never see it until it's too late. All it took was one card to change everything. If this emotional story touched your heart, please subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this.